was as bad as it gets this season, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the result was, I think the performances have been as bad, but they've got away with it because they've had moments from what they have.
But they were improved against Chelsea midweek. But it's this flip-flopping,
do you know
isn't
why
it?
they were improved? Because they don't have to take the game to the opposition and they can play counter-attacking football with a team who want to dominate possession. There's a load of space in behind for a counter-attack. Nothing wrong with being a counter-attacking side. But when a team wants to sit back on you and let you have the ball, you have to find a way to open them up. And they avoid of any sort of imagination and creativity, apart from Bruno, who's the only one. But then you got if you have Bruno in your team, then he's not going to work back. Amrabat was playing midfield instead of Mainu, who I can't understand, and he's left on his own in there. He hasn't got the legs to get around and stop counter-attacks. They were wide open. They kept trying to play out, and time again, they're giving the ball away. And credit to Bournemouth, they had a game plan and they pounced on it. They broke well and they were efficient and clinical in their finishing.
20 attempts from the home side, but only 3 on target. That's not good enough from a home side.
But them attempts, would have been shots from outside the box, blocked shots. You know, very rarely was off my chair thinking, well, they must score here. You know, they really opened up Bournemouth. You know, they were quite comfortable. In the first half, I thought, wow, there's absolutely no chance that Bournemouth can keep a clean sheet here. We are talking about a team in 16th, going away from home to Old Trafford, who have conceded 30 goals. You know, I'm within my rights to think Man United, with the world-class players and the money what they've spent, should be able to break them down and score. But they got worse. In the second half, they just come out and they looked like they had thrown a towel in, which is unfortunate for their fans watching on.
Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect, as we do the reaction series, people, back as we are looking at Manchester United. So we have some interesting comments that are coming from the Sky Sports pundit as they are talking about why Manchester United are just so terrible, because it does not make sense. This is a big team, by the way, that we're talking about, and you'd expect it to perform in a better way. You'd expect it to give us something that we can smile about. It's confusing that we thought that they were turning a corner against Chelsea. The performance that they had against Chelsea got so many people believing that this team can actually do something, but how is we have come from then to now, where we are now, where a team is humiliated by Bournemouth. Bournemouth just beat Manchester United for the first time at Old Trafford. Do you know how much that is to take, that a team wins for the first time in a certain ground that they've never won? It's really, really crazy how situations like this are happening. And I wonder, what's happening? How is this going to be fixed? The players, can we all agree that the players are no longer playing for the manager? Because that is the only thing that makes sense if we talk about what really we are seeing in this game. Because as you can hear, these guys are talking about, what would you expect from a team that is not giving the same fight as the other team that they're playing with? What exactly would you expect from them? I want you to hear something that the Bournemouth fans were saying exactly after the game. So I'm going to play that, and I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section over it. As also, by the way, if you're not clicking the like button, I don't know what you're doing, and subscribing to the Connect. Listen to this. This will really shock you.
And with Bournemouth fans singing, "Can we play you every week?" I would say that would make, or should make, Ten Hag's job untenable. That's embarrassing.
I don't know what he can... Well, I wonder what he will say, because he always has an answer at the moment.
It's usually the team's fault.
Yeah,
usually
well,
they didn't stick to the game plan.
The game plan, yeah. Maybe that's because they've no idea what the game plan is.
Bournemouth fans at Old Trafford are shouting, "Can we play you every week?" Like, these guys actually are in the Old Trafford right now. The theatre of dreams, that's the ground that we've known for, that has always been a fortress for teams to go, and they're shouting, "Can we play you every week?" This is a team that is in 16th, shouting at a team that is roughly around 6 or 7 or something. They're in the Premier League. That is really embarrassing. And if you are a Glazer, if you even have any K in your heart for this club, this should hurt you, and some moves should happen. And at this moment, the only person we can look at is Ten Hag. Now, the interesting part is this. His excuses in the middle is that he just keeps giving. Talking about how the teams are not doing what he's told them to do, what he's doing. How do you become a manager if you are not able to convince the players that are playing for you to play the certain way you want to see? How do you become a manager? Is he even a manager or a coach? It's really crazy. Anyway, let's continue with the Sky Sports people so that we hear what...
They lost 7 of their opening 16 Premier League games, Clinton. That's the first time that has happened since 1989-90. It's a long, long time ago. They're just a paradox of a club at the moment, aren't they? Because you never know from game to game what this Eric Ten Hag side are going to produce.
Yeah, definitely. But to lose 4-0 at home to Bournemouth, was that the last one chalked off?
3-0.
Yeah, 3-0.
Yeah.
It's not good enough. That's not being disrespectful to Bournemouth. They've been on a fantastic run, and Ariola's doing a brilliant job. But come on, Man United, if you won today, I think you'd have been level 1 points of Man City. So it's disappointing. And Tim said it many a times. You look at it and Ten Hag, and you're thinking, what is the identity of that football club when they're playing out front? How are they trying to play? He sits there, he's making change. You're thinking, come on, make changes. You're 2-0 down, and all of a sudden, you still got Rashford on the bench. I know he hasn't been good this season. He hasn't been nowhere near the standards, but still, get him on the pitch and, trying to change it. It's not good enough at the moment at Man United. Nowhere near good enough. Struggling massively at the moment. But their next 2 games, who have they got, Si? Liverpool and Arsenal. So it don't get any easier, does it?
And Bayern Munich midweek, which is a huge game of football.
Massive,
not only for Man United, but for the rest of the Premier League. Because if you want 5th spot, you're going to need either Newcastle or Man United to qualify for the next stage. Otherwise, there's top 4. And at the moment, I cannot see Man United getting into the top 4 this season with a performance like that.
Really, really crazy that we are here now talking about this. They should have lost by 4-0, to be honest. They should have lost by 4-0. It actually happened that the ball went and touched Don Solanke by mistake, but they should have been beaten by 4-0. And we still look at this team and we are hoping that we see something better. We are hoping that maybe this team turns a corner and give us something maybe every viewer could be smiling about. But at the moment we don't see it, and I don't think there's any moment in this time we're gonna see something like that, because the way they're playing does not give you anything. And we are talking about it, this word identity. You need to have a direction over where you're going with your football, with your game plans, with whatever you do as a manager. You'd expect to know each and every manager's game plan identity over the football and what you'd expect Pep Guardiola ball to be, Jurgen Klopp ball to be, and surprisingly Eric Ten Hag's ball to be, but we still don't know. And this guy is almost reaching to his 18th month being in this team, and we have no idea exactly which his game plan is, which his identity is, and that has to be a worry. That has to be a worry, because it's crazy. Now look at the games that are coming. Bayern Munich just lost 5-1 or 5-something in the game that they were playing. They're going to be coming for blood to prove that they're still the best they are, and they'll be playing at Old Trafford. So you are telling me there could be another humiliation that is coming in 2 days or 3 days time from where we are right now. And after that Bayern Munich game, they also have to go to Anfield. When was the last time we saw United actually had a proper performance at Anfield, when they've actually won something? Last season when Liverpool were at their worst, they were beaten by 7-0. How many goals are going to come from Anfield? And the next game that comes, by the way, it's not us now, it is West Ham. What are they going to get? We saw what West Ham just did to Tottenham Hotspurs. It's just crazy, to be honest. I don't know what's happening here. Let's hear what we have to understand maybe about the identity of this.
Identity is a word that keeps cropping up when it comes to this team. As a team, as a 1 to 11, is that what they lack this season, Chris?
Well, they have got an identity and it's poor. It has been that bad. There's been glimpses where you look at Manchester United and think, OK, yeah, there's some decent things. But Tim's right, it's like individuals, have maybe done something in a game and you think, OK, here we go. That's, a resurgence from Manchester United. I think the table's false. They've picked up points and, yeah, you've got to go and, beat the teams that they've beaten. But, it has been a lot of the bottom half teams. And you can't, I don't care what, how bad a team Manchester United cannot lose 3-0 at home to Bournemouth. No disrespect to Bournemouth, it just cannot happen. But they have, and I'll say it. I said that a few weeks ago, and he always seems to pick up a couple of results, and then the pressure goes away. Yeah. When does it? When does the buck stop with the manager? Because it is miles off where it should be. As I said, there's been a lot of money spent in Manchester United, and they have regressed. When you're spending that type of money, you need to improve, and it's definitely not happened.
I just want to make sure we get this absolutely correct. In terms of their next 2 games, it is Liverpool, but it is West Ham away who comes next.
That's one thing that is very important to understand. I don't think that United actually has identity, to be honest. I don't think, if I said there is a poor identity, at least there is a direction that there could be an identity. We don't see the identity here. We just see a poor team. We just see a team that doesn't even know what they're doing. It feels like they go with the flow, and usually the flow is triggered by the team that they're playing against. And that is always the worst thing that can ever happen in football. If you want to have the worst time in football, allow the other team to put you into their game so that you try to get out of their game and their playing style. It's difficult. That's why we talk about these things of teams having identity, so that we could see direction of where this game is going. Because to be serious, like what we're being told, Manchester United cannot lose to West Ham, to Bournemouth. Manchester United cannot lose to Bournemouth. No matter what happened, it cannot. Especially at Old Trafford, at your own ground. And to make this even worse, by 3 goals. By 1, 2, 3 goals, like 3 goals. It cannot make, it doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to be accepted. It's not supposed to be anything that even the people have to even entertain, to be honest. Because it's not even supposed to be that way. So I'm confused. Where they lose, they get some points or something, the thing slows down and they do this. It seems like something that is going to continue. When are they really going to question Ten Hag? When are they going to put their foot down Manchester United board or whoever's running that side and say that this cannot happen like this again and again? Because it's crazy. It's unacceptable for a big team like United. So before I go anywhere far, this is a very important part of the video. I need you guys to listen to this, because this is unacceptable. Listen to this.
Just take you back to what you said.
Go on.
Do you think Fernandes knew that if he got booked, he was going to miss the Liverpool game?
Of course he would know.
So he's got himself booked on purpose, knowing that it's a good one to miss?
Well, his memories of Anfield last season are not very good. He had a dreadful time at Anfield last season. Dreadful time. Now, if you're asking me, did the captain of Manchester United knowingly, with 7 minutes left, get himself booked so he would be unavailable for his team and his fans at Anfield next week? I hope not. I hope not. I would be horrified if a footballer did that. I would. Sorry. I would. Let me ask you. Let me turn it on you.
Yeah.
Do you think Fernandes knew he was on 1 booking away from suspension?
Yes.
Do you think he thought, I had a nightmare there last year, we're not playing well, Liverpool are playing well, if I get booked, I miss next week?
Yes. I think he knows at 3-0 down, because I think that last 10 minutes, United stopped playing.
Yes, they did.
They stopped playing. It could have been 4 or 5. I mean,
Yeah, it could have been.
He, I think, knows that next week could be a bad day out for the football
Could be.
club. And I think if we're all agreed that he knew if he got booked he would miss the game, then I can't think of any other scenario whereby I could allow him the room to manoeuvre on that and say, well, it was a heated moment. It wasn't.
No. It's not a heated moment because they're getting beaten 3-0 with 5 minutes to go.
I think he knew he gets booked, and I think he knows he misses the game, and I think that, for me, sums him up. He's not a captain. He's not a leader. His position there has been questioned by proper Manchester United captains, people like Roy Keane, all season long.
Bruno Fernandes got himself booked 7 minutes before the game comes to an end. And I'm 100% sure before he got into that pitch, somebody reminded him that you're already on 4 yellow cards. We have a game trip to Anfield that we're going. We need you to be there to lead your team as the captain. You celebrated, you gave everything, and you told everyone how you're excited. On social media, we do have the tickets. And the biggest game of the season, when the team is really going to be seeking game changers. The team is going to be seeking people who will make an impact into the field. You decide to get yourself booked so that you don't find yourself in this game. That's terrible, man. That's really, really, really terrible. we are no longer talking about him as a captain or what, but just as a human being who's getting paid when your team needs you to stand by him and actually do something, you decide to tap out and run away. That's not captain like, and that is unacceptable for any man in this world. It's crazy. I've seen it all in this football world, but to this extent, that's crazy. So Bruno decided to get himself out of the Anfield game, because when the other team, let's just try to predict, as the other team will be losing, he doesn't want to be part of it. Or maybe he's getting back at the manager because the manager last time did not take him out when he was asking to be sent out when his team was walloped. That's terrible, man. Anyway, let's move on to the next part of this video. I'm almost done. Just a few short clips, then we're out.
It was 3 in the end. How are you looking at that today?
Well, I don't think he'll get fired. I think what I saw today is what I've seen all season. Is that today we've seen 3 crosses, 3 goals. The performance level's nowhere near good enough. You look at the week, you look at the performance against Chelsea, the performance against Newcastle. The Newcastle performance and Bournemouth performance are actually probably more than what you've seen rather than the Chelsea performance. The Chelsea performance, which was good in midweek, is probably a standout because it's not happened that much. Consistency-wise, not good enough. And I do feel as if these players need to start taking responsibility, need to start performing better. You look at the goals they give away today, soft goals, three goals from 3 crosses, just not acceptable.
Phil, do you think they're any closer in 2023 to turning the corner and rediscovering the United they used to be than they were in 2013 after Fergie left?
Nowhere near. Nowhere near. And I think we've got to get it out of our heads that United have this divine right to challenge for league titles. You look at the Aston Villas, the Newcastles, they've overtook Manchester United. You look at the Tottenham, they've overtook Manchester United. And then you've not even spoke about Arsenal, Man City and Liverpool, who have been ahead of Manchester United for the last 10 years anyway. So they are a million miles away from the level that's needed to compete. And I think where they are at this moment in time is exactly where they should be in terms of the level of performance, the level of quality and the level of what we're seeing week in, week out.
So frustrating for the fans. 1 week.
I don't get why is that the people are still protecting Erik Ten Hag, because everything we are talking about here, the identity of the team, the type of play, the way it's playing, idea of whatever they want to approach to get something into the game, it all screams Ten Hag. All the players who are playing, the players who are being signed by the club, it's all screaming Ten Hag. So it means at the moment, because Man United have been on the law for such a long time, but at this moment, this current level of the law, the main man who got Manchester United to where they are right now is Erik Ten Hag. And somehow you find that so many people are protecting him. You find that so many people are always trying to give something to take him out, to bring these weird excuses to try to get him not to be really questioned for his decisions, for what he's offering and what he's doing. I don't get it. It's unacceptable. It's really weird. I just don't get it. And then let's move on to the second thing that Fiona was talking about. Manchester United this has to stop now. This God-given right that they should be challenging, they should be doing what? It is over. Sir Alex Ferguson left Manchester United 2013. We are already almost a decade later since he's gone. That's 10 years. We cannot keep holding on to the past, because what we are seeing, it's exactly where this team is and exactly what they are giving us to the world. There's nothing more, there's nothing less, and the sooner so many people accept this, the better, because you're hoping for something that will give you shining arm and actually smile, but we are not gonna get that, especially not with this Manchester United. Especially with the way the player power is running into the club, especially with the way the manager is fighting with each and every player in the dressing room. We are not going to get there. So we need to stop believing that. We just have to concentrate on seeing what they do, because where they are, they deserve to be, and they have to find themselves from where they are. We don't have to expect them to do something They are not miracle workers. Nobody's never a miracle worker. If you're not doing good, if you're not performing good, if you're not working, if you're not doing anything, there is nowhere miraculously the results are going to come from nowhere. And in this season and in this year, we are seeing it clear as daylight. There is nothing that United is going to do. So if that becomes clear to the world, that helps a lot of people from actually dealing with so much frustration that so many people are going through. Anyway, let's move on to the last part of this, then I'm out. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Click the like button and subscribe to the Connect. Let's go.
Good one we've
This thing needs ripping up and restarting, Rebecca. We thought there was the semblance of a team and a system and a play. The biggest thing I would say with Ten Hag and this group of players is there's no trust. There's no trust. So some players get dropped or rotated or whatever you say, then you bring another group in, and they don't do very well. So they go in. I mean, Varane must sit there and look at Luke Shaw today and Harry Maguire and say, what's going on at this football club?
Trust. I think now that is now certainly clear. Everyone knows it. That Manchester United team, whatever that is going to come into the pitch, there's just no trust. Eric Ten Hag does not trust his players. His players does not trust what he's giving. And now that is causing so much players to be angry at him and now bringing up and bringing some chaos and fights, as well as him angry at the players, now coming and calling them out into the public and actually banning some people from even coming from to the dressing room. Now, because all these things is happening, United are now attacking people like reporters who are just reporting what's happening in this team. Every single week we see it. We don't want to say it, but we already know that this is a disjointed group of players who are disjoined from each other and also disjoined from the manager, because others are angry. The other one's saying that, why would you go with this manager if he's doing something like this to so-and-so, one of your players, one of your mates? And the other one is going like that, if we don't do, we're going to look stupid because we're getting paid every time. Let's try to do something though. So there is, I think you have to call it an implosion in this team. And it has been going on from top to bottom, and it's not ending now, keeps continuing. Maybe the Ragnick signings and whatever that is going to happen could be the very definition of change in this team, could be the very definition of change in this ground, but at this moment we don't see it. There's no trust. They don't trust each other, and I just don't get, for the sake of me, why the board are holding on Ten Hag. Or maybe they don't trust that the fans will accept them if they sack him. See? Another problem here. So, no trust from the fan base, no trust from your players, no trust from the manager, no trust from the owners. Oh my God, this whole entire club is a joke. That's where we are now in this season. So it's really, really painful, to be honest. It's something that is unacceptable. So tell me your thoughts in the comment section as I'll be going out, because there's a lot of things that is happening with Manchester United. I don't know. Let's hear what you think. Let me hear what you're expecting. I'll be doing the reaction of the ESPN guys to the Bournemouth games, Liverpool and others, as I always do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Click the like button, subscribe to the Connect. We're out. Peace. Out.